Former U.S. President Trump made his first public appearance since leaving office, speaking in front of a crowd of conservative supporters in Florida. Trump used his speech to repeat his fraudulent claims that the election was stolen and to deny rumors that he's planning on starting his own political party.
You know, they kept saying, he's going to start a brand new party. We have the Republican Party. It's going to unite and be stronger than ever before. I am not starting a new party.
While Trump did not officially announce that he's planning another run for the White House, he repeatedly teased the prospect, and he also called out by name the Republicans who voted to impeach him for inciting the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. Thomas Rath joins me now. He's a Republican strategist. Thomas, good morning. Glad you could be with us. So when you step back and you take in all the comments from the former president yesterday, what was he trying to signal? Was he saying that he wants to be the kingmaker, that he wants to run again, but he's leaving his options open? What do you think his message was?
Well, it's probably a little bit of all of the above, but more than anything else, I think he misses the spotlight. I think this is a fellow who, thrives on attention and dominating the landscape, and he's becoming increasingly irrelevant. Particularly as a new president gets in place and we start having discussions about where those policies are going to leave us. Trump's last sort of bastion of support is in the real hardcore right of the Republican Party, which is the group of people that he spoke to yesterday in Florida at the Conservative Political Action Committee. And I think that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to demonstrate he still has relevance and that he still has reach.
And we know by now that President Trump is one who likes to buck tradition. Typically, presidents wait a while. They give the new president time to govern. Not so with President Trump. I hear your point about the former president, liking the limelight, liking being in the spotlight. What do you think he will do now? Will he continue to try to be a thorn in Joe Biden's side?
Well, first of all, convention means nothing to Donald Trump, nothing. You
Right.
Can't judge him by any other yardstick of what a normal sort of respectful politician might do. What he will try to do, and I think it's going to be increasingly difficult, is to remain relevant and remain a force that must be reckoned with within the Republican Party. And I think there's a big disconnect, and you saw it yesterday in the straw vote they take. Even though that was a group that was about as pro-Trump as you could find, on the ballot question about who should be the nominee in 2024, he only got 55% of the people there. Now that's 55% of the most converted. And that indicates that gradually, slowly, inevitably, there's a movement away from his personality. Maybe not away from his programs, but certainly he does not have the stranglehold on the entirety of the Republican Party that he has had formerly.
So can the Republican Party move on from Donald Trump but still keep his base?
Well, they better. And I think that's going to be the challenge to Republicans in the next couple of years is how do you retain the intensity and enthusiasm and commitment of strong of folks in one part of the party, and yet broaden the party to become an effective electoral force. It's going to be a balancing act. But by the way, that's the same balancing act that the Democrats have to go through in terms of managing their liberal or far further left base. I think it is complicated, again, because there is this cult of personality that surrounds the former president. I believe that will lessen as time moves on.
Right. Yeah. On another network, I heard one person outside being interviewed saying their life was so boring without Donald Trump's tweets. So maybe boring is what we need for a little while.
Well, I think actually a lot of Americans kind of are responding to President Biden because he's not quite as inflammatory. And I think maybe there's a lesson here. What the next election needs to be about is not the personality of one individual, but rather the parties, programs, and philosophies and approach to governing. We got to get away from the ad hominem race and more to a race on principles. That's a big step, but I think yesterday maybe proves it's possible.
Yeah, imagine that. Okay, great to see you this morning. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you again.